Well, this is it, guys. The last game of the season. A few more games to predict to find out who's going to be the inaugural FDT TV season champion. The scores are really close at the moment, so let's get straight into it. Right guys, so as I mentioned in the intro, we've got 3 games that we're going to be focusing on today. As with every other game in this channel, we have Arsenal versus Watford, Newcastle versus Liverpool, and finally West Ham versus Aston Villa. We're just going to dive into them now. So to start off, we've got Arsenal versus Watford. As I thought would happen, Arsenal capitulated last week. In fact, they didn't even capitulate. We were just absolutely dreadful. It was such a disappointing display, and we didn't really seem to offer anything going forward. But as I called it, I didn't know. Oh, I could see it coming after the performances that we had against Manchester City and Liverpool, that we were due to be outplayed and revert back to same old Arsenal ways. It's the last game of the season. We do need to pick up 3 points for this game because we need to get as high as possible as we can in the Premier League in order for prize money. I have read somewhere that it can be an additional £5.5 million, which would be useful, obviously, for our transfer budget. Watford, on the other hand, they are fighting for their lives to stay in the Premier League, and depending on the results around them, it could be do or die today. So they obviously need to come up with a big performance. I'm in 2 minds to know what sort of squad we're going to put out. Obviously, with the FA Cup final next week. So it's going to be very difficult to know what sort of team that we are going to put out, because obviously we want to win the competition. That's going to be our route into Europe, as we've ballsed it up in the Premier League now. So we need to have a fully fit, full firing squad next weekend. So do we kind of hang back a bit today? I could see the likes of Nketiah starting, possibly Lacazette on the bench, and then you've got Saka out on the wings with a view to possibly bring on Aubameyang later on in the game. I don't know. Obviously Martinez is going to start in goal. He has been really valuable for us whilst Leno's been out injured, and Watford do had some threats that they could throw our way. Every time I do seem to kind of guess on Arsenal winning, we have a bit of a crappy game. I think I'm going to go for a draw on this one. Either a 1-1 or I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, I think. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win. I am going to be positive. We do need to get the 3 points, but and I do think potentially we might have too much for Watford today. With the loom of relegation hanging over their heads, will that impact the way they play? So yes, I'm going to go for a 3-1.
Arsenal-Watford, another massive game. Arsenal can still keep Tottenham out of Europe if Tottenham finish 7th and Arsenal win the FA Cup. So will they be fielding a strong team against Watford? I don't think so. I think they're going to try and save all their best players for that cup final against Chelsea, and Watford could run riot here. They are very strong in the opposition box. Watford, they know how to win penalties. They know how to get about, and they on their day they can be quite a monstrous team. The only thing not going for them is they did sack Nigel Pearson, so I think everyone in the Premier League would like them to go down. So come on, Arsenal, do us a favour and nip this one 1-0. It could be interesting though. I feel like Arsenal are going to concede, but I feel like they could score more. So again, I'm going to go with another 2-1 victory to Arsenal. Come on, seal that fate and relegate Watford, the club who go through managers like there's no tomorrow. They don't deserve to be in the Premier League.
So here we are, last game of the season. Let's see what's going to be. Some interesting games ahead. We've got battles for European places. We have battles to see who can stay in the Premier League and who's going to be playing in the Championship last year. So it's going to be a very interesting day. Starting off, I think, going with Arsenal versus Watford. Watford all to play with for, and Arsenal cup final ahead. But again, getting an extra couple of points will make a big difference in their placing, potential European places, and also extra prize money, which could be important to them. Watford just sacked their manager, another one this year. Really don't understand why. Pearson was doing a great job at the club, getting some great results this season to help them through. So, can the caretaker manager get the players fired up for the last game of the season and actually make a difference? Because they do need to get a result to even try and stay in the league, depending on the other results. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. For me, Arsenal got good confidence. I know it was a shock defeat last week, but I think they're going to have players who are wanting to make a difference. Aubameyang needs a few more goals to try and get Golden Boot for. Highly unlikely, but you never know. He might want to try and prove a point to get in the cup final game, and a few other players as well. So for this game, it's going to be close. I think Arsenal are going to win and beat Watford 2-1.
So here we are finally, last game of the season. West Ham versus Aston Villa. We're safe. We beat my expectations for this season. I thought we was going to come down to this final game and still not be safe. But we are, so we haven't really got much to play for. Aston Villa, on the other hand, have got everything to play for. Their Premier League survival depends on beating us. It doesn't guarantee them safety, I don't think, but a big 3 points if they can. The only thing we've got to play for is just to try and carry on this tremendous form that we've been on and carry it on into next season, which is now only 41 days away. So I can see going with a strong squad, maybe bringing on one or two the younger players, Connor Coventry maybe, Xande Silva, would like to see him get a run out. Ben Johnson, on the other hand, is starting and should continue to start because he has been wondrous. He's been our best right back all season and he's only played 2 games. I can see Aston Villa going as strong a squad as they can. They beat Arsenal last week, which is a big win for them. So this is going to be a difficult one. They can be hard to break down, but they're not the true claret and blue. That's us. So I'm going to go with West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1. Come on, you Irons. Final win of the season. Let's have it.
Then we have potentially the biggest game, West Ham versus Aston Villa. West Ham safe now. So are they going to go all out? I still think so. There's still more for them to play to keep that position above Brighton. And then you've got Aston Villa who need to get results. They need to win and get points off West Ham to try and win. But they're playing away. I mean, the defence has got better. They're not leaking as many goals. They got a surprise win against Arsenal, but then the Arsenal team weren't that great. They didn't take their opportunities as they should have done. So I think it could be quite an interesting game. Lots of battles going on, but I know West Ham have got the confidence. They've got big, tough guys. They've got some speed, and they've got, I think, enough to carry them through and win this game. So for me, I am going to go West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1. It's going to be close. It's going to be a fair few goals today as well. I think the other games, the way they go, I think we could actually see Bournemouth going down today as well, especially with their results. I don't think they can do it against Everton. It's a tough ask for them, so it'll make things a bit different in the other games when the results come through. But yes, final day. Let's see what happens. Looking forward to it, multi-screening it up, seeing how many games you can get on at once. But it'd be great.
We have West Ham versus Aston Villa, the battle for the claret and blue. This is possibly the most interesting game of the weekend. In fact, no, I think the Arsenal-Watford game and the West Ham game could be one of the better, or could be the better games of the weekend, just because they've both got relegation on their minds. You've got both Aston Villa and Watford on 34 points, and there's only one goal in it to decide. So depending on what result happens for either team, it could mean either survival in the Premier League or relegation down into the Championship. Villa did put up a good game against us last week, but West Ham have actually had a bit of a run at the moment. They've picked up some good points since we come back from lockdown, and also they've got the draw against Manchester United earlier on in the week. I think the momentum is definitely going to be in West Ham's favour. Obviously, they are now safe. So again, you could possibly say that because they know they're safe, they could rest on their laurels and therefore end up getting spanked by Aston Villa. I don't see that happening though. If anything, I do see a draw in this. So it's going to depend on whether Watford beat us or draw with us. Will determine who goes down. So I think I'm going to go for a West Ham win on this one, but it's going to be by the narrowest of margins. And I do think both teams will score, and I think it's going to be 2-1 to West Ham United.
Then we have the champions taking on Newcastle. I mean, it's a away game, so you never know what could actually happen here. But I think we're going to go and attack. You could say there's nothing left to play for. I mean, Newcastle, mid-table, safety, they haven't got much left to play for either. But then we're not going to take a foot of the gas either. I mean, we've got a few injuries. Henderson's still out. But I think Mo, he's going to be wanting to push for that, at least get one more goal to get him 20 for the title and get him a new record. I think for the first 3 seasons at Anfield, getting 20 plus goals. He wants that. It was evidence in the Chelsea game. He was trying and didn't really take the opportunities. He had 2, 3, maybe 4 chances that were easy tap-ins if you just squared them over, but no, he took them on and wanted to get an extra couple of goals. So I think he'll be pushing forward and doing that. I think the whole team will be there. We might even throw in a few youngsters, but our youngsters are good. Curtis Jones, if he comes on and plays, incredible player, lots of energy, got the right attitude in the right way. So I think it's going to be a Liverpool win. I'm going 3-0 to Liverpool. I think with the attitude and the way that Klopp's been playing, we will be going out and giving it all, especially for the last game of the season, just for the fans to watch and to cap off the season with an incredible result.
Next up, Newcastle versus Liverpool. Again, I think it's a bit of a deadwood game because we've got Newcastle who are safe, Liverpool who are already crowned champions and got given the trophy last week. There's not really much to play for in this game. I'm just going to check the table quickly. Newcastle, they can't finish any higher than 13th, even with 3 points today. I wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool give them an absolute stonking. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Liverpool on this one.
Newcastle versus Liverpool. What a dead game. Liverpool already champions. Newcastle are safe mid-table. I can't see Liverpool really wanting to play this. I think they're going to play a very much a young squad. Maybe with a couple of big names in there. Keep Mane in the squad. Maybe Player of the Year Henderson. And then lose to Newcastle, who are mediocre at best. It's a boring game really to finish the season. There's nothing to play for, which is a shame. Not like the other 2 games where there's a lot riding on it, so it's going to be more of an intense match. This is going to be rubbish. I'm going, I don't know, Newcastle 1, Liverpool 1. A boring score draw to end the season. Rubbish. What bad champions they are. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. share it everywhere. Check out one of our other videos, it'll be somewhere around here. Cool.